Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Natasha Jamieson, host of Natasha's Lips, Tips, and Great Flips. Our show focuses on the benefits of wellness and provides expert advice necessary for living a balanced life. This is my passion and I hope that I inspire you to live your own. We have an incredible show for you today as we delve into the world of all things yoga. On today's show, we welcome yoga teacher and creator of Younity Yoga, Angela Currie. She is here to share her amazing story that created the space necessary for healing, new beginnings, and her devotion to mindfulness. Also joining us is yoga teacher Vanessa Goeldner. Vanessa will help assist us in having a better understanding of the complete health benefits of yoga. But first, we are talking trends with the lovely Gayle Herrington.
Hi, Natasha.
The lovely Gayle Herrington.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So trends, two trends that we're talking about today.
Yes.
Ayurveda, herbs or Ayurvedic medicine, and at home, self-care for your smile.
Right.
I didn't think I would talk dentistry again, but there you go.
There
the
you
circle
go. What
is
goes
round.
comes around.
Right, as a former dental hygienist, right? So we're talking Ayurveda herbs, okay? So this is the traditional practice of medicine in India. It's a holistic approach and a healing system. This is hitting mainstream. It's really, really the hot trend that people are kind of, being drawn to. As everything else that we've talked about on the show, wellness is at the peak of interest and importance to people.
The whole mind-body connection.
All of it, and that's exactly what this is. It's healing. It has the healing practices to basically balance the mind, body, and spirit. That's what they call it. So it's been, used in India for thousands of years, and it's more like a restorative tonic for better health and vitality. It covers a variety of ailments. So anything from pain control, chronic or other, anything from, digestive disorders, or if you're anxious or depressed, this is where it's going.
Nutritional supplements.
Absolutely. It's all over the products. It's incorporated into different things. And just to, let everybody know that this is a fat soluble. So you need to take it with a healthy fat. That means that it's going to go down deeper into the cells and tissues.
Right.
All of these herbs need to be taken with a healthy
So
fat.
what would that look like?
Raw milk, butter, anything like that. Healthy fat.
Nut milks and avocado oils.
Yes, absolutely. You need to take it with that. But they show great promise, and the whole focus and the fundamental concept is that it wants to promote health and balance and well-being. It does not target disease.
Okay, that's a
It's
huge
different.
Turnaround from the way modern medicine is practiced.
Yes, absolutely. So that's exactly where this is going.
Right.
But it's really hitting mainstream. It's people are very interested because everybody is aware and wants to feel like better on many levels.
Right.
The total well-being as a whole,
Right.
not just to look better or to to sleep better. It's literally all-encompassing health,
And
mind, body, spirit.
Where would one go to find information
Probably,
about this?
obviously the internet.
Right.
And because it's, something that's like trending right now and hitting mainstream, there's going to be more available for people. Even in supplementation, it's going to say that on the package. Even energy drinks that have, a shot of that.
Right.
This is where it's going.
So you could probably go into a health food store to get
Absolutely,
some advice on
yes.
this kind of
Absolutely.
thing?
Or like you can Google it yourself if you
Right.
the internet is a great tool.
Right.
So we're shifting gears. We're talking about at home care for your smile.
Care for your smile.
Because again, it's hitting the beauty. It's becoming like a beauty routine. Okay?
Right.
People are very worried and want to focus and prioritizing their smile, their oral health, because there's been a lot of links to different diseases and ailments that can trigger from having poor oral health. So we are looking at a movement, and this industry hasn't really seen a whole lot, believe me, because I've worked in it for so many years. There hasn't been a lot of movement.
Right.
Yes, we've seen bleaching kits and things like that you can take at home.
And whitening toothpaste.
That's right, but it's amped up. The concentrations are higher.
Right.
They can monitor via apps. Electronic toothbrushes that have a monitor and a sensor.
On your phone?
Yes, you can
connect with your phone?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
You can monitor. This is more for children. So when I used to
Right.
cater to children, this is more for children. They're brushing their oral habits.
Right.
That they can see where they can improve with incentive. It's like a little game.
Right.
That they can get bonus points.
Yeah.
Invisaligners. They
Right.
can ship the trays to you. So they are taking, it's the forefront of braces, instead of like the train tracks that you've seen like a lot of little
But
children.
braces are in now.
They're
I've
very
seen them in
in.
all kinds of different
Absolutely.
colors. People,
people are trying to better themselves.
And they're sporting it as part of their look.
Oh, Gwen Stefani.
Gwen Stefani, yeah.
So we're looking at intraoral cameras so that you're decreasing the time that you're open. That's a lot of problems for people with TMJ issues, which is the joint right here.
Right.
Temporomandibular joint. But also teledental, where you can get instant access. They never had that, you know. And also digital online diagnoses for people that are otherwise compromised and have, you know, health issues, or they live in rural areas, they can't get to a dentist.
Right.
Food for thought, something to think about. Isn't it amazing?
But you have to brush after you've had the food.
You have to, yes. Oral care is very, very important. It's very, very important. You must brush and floss regularly, and this is just going to help you get out of the chair.
Right.
And, you know, kind of at your fingertips at home.
Right.
So, well, I think that's all the time that we have. I know it goes by so fast.
I know.
It goes by so fast.
I know.
Thank you again for being here.
You're welcome.
On the show. Up next, we speak with yoga teacher Angela Currie. Stay with us.
Natasha's Lips, Tips, and Great Flips is sponsored by AMMA Ajax Mixed Martial Arts Academy, offering classes in Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for all men and women. Sign up now for your free 1-month membership. Also offering Women's Strength and Conditioning Body Blast Boot Camp. Includes a 1-week free trial. St. Nadala Macedonian Orthodox Church, located in Ajax, Ontario, offering banquet hall facilities for your weddings, celebrations, and special events, accommodating up to 250 guests.
Welcome back. Here with us now is yoga teacher and creator of Younity Yoga, Angela Currie. The Younity movement emphasizes the necessary space required for healing and creating new beginnings. We'll be discussing how to build, create, and restore positivity, helping us to step out of our comfort zone and live our passion. That sounds vaguely familiar. Angela, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're absolutely welcome. So we are talking about what an interesting life you've had. And our viewers may not know, and I'm so excited to share it with them. So tell us how a series of drastic events have altered your life at that time.
Yeah, so from the very beginning, I was adopted when I was born, and then adopted by my 2 beautiful parents. And when I was 6, my dad had passed away from Waterhouse syndrome, and then when I was 13, my mom had passed away from breast cancer. So it was just kind of a catastrophic series of events, and then shortly after, a couple other family members had also lost their lives to cancer. So it was very, very difficult in those times.
You were hit very, very hard at a very, very young age, thinking that you have this like beautiful family, and you did, until kind of tragedy struck at a very, very young age. So what were the immediate circumstances that took place as a result of this? Because there would be massive results.
Heaps.
Yes.
Immediately, I had to grow up really fast, you know, lots of transitioning happening. A lot of people obviously caring for me, wondering, are you okay? Are you okay? So I felt myself that I had to grow up to be like, everything's okay. What can I do? How can I help?
Okay.
So that was the biggest change that I had to deal with.
So where did you go? Who took you in? You had like living grandparents or other family?
I moved in with my grandparents at the time, and then shortly after my grandfather had passed away, but I was raised by my grandmother, and she's a wonderful lady.
Yes, of course. So what were you thinking at that time? So all of this has happened. You've changed your home, your set of circumstances, your life. What were you thinking at the time?
I was thinking of a lot of things. I was thinking about, how could I have done something different? I kept blaming myself, if I would have not caused my mom stress, if I would have done something different. That played on my mind a lot. That was the biggest thing that I always thought about was, what could I have done differently?
So why would you take that kind of guilt in? Like, did you vocalize it to anybody?
No, actually.
You kept it internal?
I kept it. I bottled it up for a very long time and kept it internal. And it was kind of a mental battle that I did with myself for a long time that I never shared with anybody. Really tried to keep it and try to be that strong person, try to think that everything's okay.
Yeah. So there must have been somebody at this point in your life that helped navigate you through this. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I always had support wherever I went. It was mostly like a self-battle with myself, but I always had my friends who were super supportive, my family who they did their own kind of loving ways to try to help, and especially my grandmother. My grandmother helped me in so many ways, and just being strong and being herself was the biggest example that helped me.
Yes. How did these things affect you personally, though? Did you go through periods where you had like some destructive behavior.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
absolutely. Like I said, the bottling up effect, it just started to get worse and worse. And then there came points in times where stress was making me hallucinate, and it would make me feel like I needed to be with my parents, and that the only way that all of this stress and all of these things were going to stop was if I stopped myself, or if I hurt myself, or tried to end my life. And that's yeah, it was really, really dark.
Did you in turn actually attempt and
I did. I had,
these things?
I had harmed
us.
myself for a few years. It was kind of like a reality check for myself when I was in my moments of not being here. It kind of had brought me back into the present moment. And then from there, it was kind of like an addiction. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So I had tried, my first attempt was in high school. And then my last, thankfully, was in college. And it was very, very, very overpowering to be able to feel those feelings and to think, yeah, this is the decision that I want to make in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how dark did it actually get before the light came in? Because there was a pivotal person that helped you see the ramifications of your actions.
Yeah, it was very dark. So like I said, my last one was in college, and even while I was in there, I was still like, you know what? I don't want to be here. I really don't want to be here anymore. So what's the point? I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to try to heal. There's just no point, because clearly this is going to keep happening, and I'm going to keep wanting to. The pivotal point, though, was this one woman. She was in there, and she had told me, she said, I told her my story, and she said, you have the choice, though. You know, your parents aren't here, but you're still here. So why are you trying to be with them when you get the choice to be here?
Yeah, she gave you the light.
Yeah.
She gave you the reason. She didn't want you to follow in her footsteps. I find that the best advice ever, when you don't have to suffer through it, but people give you the keys to the kingdom, as I call it. Really, it's true.
Yeah.
And from this point, let me ask you, what do you think is your calling? Because I knew this from the second I saw your beautiful little face. So tell me.
My calling, my passion, I want to help people like my parents, and help people that feel like they're closed off by whatever illness they have, disease, illness, or just stress. I want to be able to help people to feel like even in their darkest times that it's okay, and that they have the skills to be able to get through whatever they desire, whatever they feel like they need to get through. They have the power
First,
to do
feel
it.
them.
Yeah.
Feel those things.
Yeah, not dismiss it.
That's
yeah,
right.
definitely not dismiss it. Be with it, analyze it, and experience it, and then, start to take those steps, but in a loving, kind way, and that's what I want to provide for people.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
More with Currie when we come back. Stay with us.
Natasha's Lips, Tips, and Great Flips is sponsored by Synchronicity Durham. By collaborating within each level of the community, the main purpose of Synchronicity Durham is to empower every open-minded citizen in Durham region with the tools and resources to achieve their greatest dreams, goals, and passions.
We are talking with Currie, the creator and force behind Younity Yoga. We will be addressing the benefits of mindfulness as the key element to stress reduction and the positive effects this practice has on overall wellness. That's what we're talking about. So how do you become so interested in mindfulness, and why?
I was very interested in mindfulness when I was in my last hospital visit when I was recovering, and a woman, one of my best friends, her name is Amanda Lambert, she had taught me a mindfulness practice, and it was one of the first moments where I had actually felt nothing, and I was like, whoa, okay, the stress has stopped for a moment, and that was that was the starting of how I got into mindfulness.
What did she teach you that changed your kind of whole overview of it?
Just like grounding, so tuning in with your senses. So, okay, wherever you are, just tuning into what you're hearing, what are you smelling, what do you feel on your skin, and just getting in tune with what's happening in this present moment with your five senses.
And that helped you just calm right down, ground right down.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so great. How does the world view this concept, and do you think it's an essential life skill?
Yeah, so I get a lot of people with yoga and mindfulness, people think it's like a woo-woo, hippy-dippy kind of thing. And they think mindfulness, too, is something that they have to, I don't have time.
That's right.
To put a chunk of time away to do this, or have equipment. But mindfulness is a very essential life skill. It's just about being in the present moment and being aware that you are here right now.
being
That's
aware
very
that
simple.
you're here right now.
Yeah.
And that it can be that simple for people, but sometimes we complicate things as people, as
Exactly.
human beings. What would you say is the single most important part of developing how to be mindful?
I think the most important thing with developing it is taking your time, is definitely just being able to set even just 1 or 2 minutes out of your day, or involve it into your daily practice and slowly integrate it. Because if you do anything too fast, you're going to not want to do it.
That's true.
So just taking one thing out of your day and just kind of questioning it. So example, brushing your teeth, kind of question, okay, why do I brush my teeth this way? Just something really simple like that.
And then just develop that and work more into it, making it a little bit longer. It doesn't have to be a very long thing, does it?
No, it can be very, very brief with anything that you're doing. Just taking that second to kind of come into, okay, where am I and why am I doing this right now? And then you feel, oh, okay, very cool.
So what is the benefit? That's what I want to ask you next, because people don't understand it. Like once they go through it, they will.
Yeah.
So what's the benefit to being a bit more mindful?
So many benefits, but a couple that I can think of right off the bat is it definitely reduces your stress levels. So just being able to come back into that present moment and come off of that elevated height is really great. And also it just starts to bring you more in tune into a healthier lifestyle, because you start to question, okay, well, why do I eat these things? Or why do I keep myself surrounded by these negative people? Or you start to question your lifestyle choices. So then you start to cultivate better lifestyle choices that way.
Because you're actually thinking about it and questioning and looking into it.
Exactly.
So what are some of the questions we should be asking ourselves with respect to mindfulness, and why do we even need to ask these questions? Why?
It's just having the curiosity. So asking yourself, where can I put mindfulness into my daily practice? Or where do I find myself the most stressed is a very good way to start, because most of us are very high stressed all the time.
That's true.
So asking yourself, at what moments do you feel most stress? And then questioning those moments in that time. I think that's a really
So questioning like how you feel in the moment, understanding like your surroundings, what you're doing, why you're doing it.
Yeah.
So all of these things will help you kind of stay in the moment, be grounded, and more connected.
Exactly.
So what can you say to our viewers right now to have them think, feel right now, to help them kind of be in a more happier state? Because it's an inside job, and it can be just like a switch. You can switch it on and off.
Cool. Twofold. First fold, there's a beautiful quote by Buddha, and it's called, it says, a man comes up to him and says, I want happiness. And he says, remove the I, that is your ego. Remove the want, because that is desire, and all you're left with is happiness. And another one is if you just sit right now, sitting with your feet flat on the ground, or just taking a notice at how your posture is, or how your breath is, how your heart rate is. So tuning in for a quick second and just noticing if your heart rate's fast, if it's slow. Are you feeling like you're breathing shallow? Are you breathing deep? Do you breathe into your tummy? If you're trying this right now, you can already start to go in, and you're already in the present moment.
You're already in the present moment. Oh, lovely. So let me ask you this. Why is it important for you to have support of like-minded people and spend time with them? I think this is so important.
Yeah, 110%, especially for meeting you, like-minded guy.
You're so sweet.
But you just get to have that support and get more motivation from others, because when you're around the people that you want to become like, or you want to just have in your life, you start to reflect. So whatever type of people you surround yourself with, you mirror them. So if you're with negative people, you're going to stay in that vicious cycle, and it's hard to see until you meet that one person that's like,
that's going to open your
resonate
eyes
with me, and then you meet more like-minded people, and it just kind of feels like everything starts to click in your own life, in your social life, and just being able to have more insight from different perspectives.
I love that. And I always ask the takeaways, so share with our viewers what your 3 points of advice are, or whatever you'd like for takeaway.
I think the takeaway is whatever you're going through in your life, you may feel alone, but there will be something that will be able to click for you, and you just need to work at finding what that one thing is that clicks and works for you. So don't give up. You've got this.
Don't give up. You got this. I love that. I love that.
Question what you're doing. Question your daily routine and your habitual patterns. And most importantly, go after what the most deeply rooted passion is inside of you, because that is going to bring you the most happiness in your life.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Angela.
you so
An
much,
absolute joy
Natasha.
having you on the
It's a
show.
joy being here.
Up next, we speak with yoga teacher Vanessa Goeldner. Stay with us.
Natasha's Lips, Tips, and Great Flips is sponsored by St. Nadala Macedonian Orthodox Church, located in Ajax, Ontario, offering banquet hall facilities for your weddings, celebrations, and special events, accommodating up to 250 guests. Invictus Equality, We are the mistresses and the masters of our gender equality destiny.
Welcome back. Joining us now is registered yoga teacher Vanessa Goeldner. She is the co-founder of Mind, Body, Breath Yoga. Vanessa will be assisting us in having a better understanding of the health benefits affiliated with the practice of yoga. Vanessa, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm very excited to have you on. Maybe you can mellow me out.
I will try.
Yes, that's good. That's a good one. Try, yeah. So how did you start integrating yoga into your life?
Well, I've actually been practicing yoga probably for, 10 to 15 years, but I really started more on the physical side.
Yes.
So I was kind of doing it as part of my lunch hour, kind of doing it as something fun. But I started noticing probably about a couple years ago is just the benefit of practicing yoga on a regular basis and the breathing exercises and really reducing my stress overall.
So you felt that immediately once you were able to practice yoga, that it calmed you down and helped you tackle your day a little bit easier, smoother?
For sure, yeah.
As opposed to the more physical stuff, because that has a place, of course.
And yoga definitely is physical. It
Very.
has a definite component to it, but I find for me the biggest benefit is more around the mindfulness and the meditation and really kind of being centered within myself.
Yes. So what are the correlations between training your body and the benefits to your total wellness then?
Well, what I find is by practicing yoga, you actually get better self-awareness of how your body is feeling.
Oh,
so
I see.
as you're practicing, you'll notice like areas that perhaps you're feeling a little stiffer, areas that maybe you're holding tension. So you can really start to hone in on those areas that you need to concentrate on, and perhaps you're holding tension where you didn't even realize you were doing it.
So does that mean that you alter your routine to kind of make sure that that's in balance then? Like if you have like really kind of tight hips, do you?
Yep, and depending, so if I'm teaching a class, I'll actually ask the class, are there any areas that people have? A lot of times, especially with women, we hold a lot of tension in our hips. So a lot of the moves and the postures that I'll do are concentrated on hips. But again, if there's like spine issues, then you're always aware of different parts of you.
Yes. So why are people so drawn to yoga? It seems like there was people that are always interested, but there's like a movement forward. Like it has such a huge ripple effect that people are just so drawn to, and there's a million types of different yogas.
Yes.
Hot yoga and this kind of, I don't even know. I know there's so many different yogas.
Well, I think people are really drawn to how they feel. And I think in a world where we are definitely highly stressed, a lot of us are working really long hours, whether it's in corporate or outside, even at home, and being drawn into so many different areas, you need an outlet, somewhere that you can actually release that tension. I think that's what really draws people in.
That's a safe space to be able to do
For
that.
sure.
So there's so many different types of yoga, as I said. How do you even know which one to start with, or which one would be better for you? I mean, I wouldn't have a clue. It's not my go-to, but I probably should incorporate some into my life.
What I would suggest to anybody is just try. Like try
Anyone?
any types. And as part of my yoga training, we actually had to go and try about 20 different types. And I found just by going and seeing what's out there and there's benefits within certain practices that I wouldn't have ever thought about because it wasn't part of my training. But I just try it out, see what works for you. It may be something that you didn't even realize. So if it's hot yoga or if it's more of a meditative, yoga doesn't have to be the physical piece. It can be even meditation, like figuring out that type of thing.
So how do you know? Which one is better for you based on maybe some limitations that you have? Is there like a specific one that is a go-to when you have like maybe some compromised things with body or health?
Well, the type that I teach is Kripalu inspired, and really it's all about compassion, so for your body. So I would suggest if someone's more concerned about not being, flexible or they're not as physical, find one that's not maybe more beginner, less intense. Hot yoga can be very intense for some people. So I would suggest just starting off beginner class, figuring out what works, and testing out a few, because teachers are also very different.
Yes, that's really true. So you have 4 kids, boys. 4 boys.
Yes.
I don't even know what to say to that. I have 2 and I'm at capacity. How do you incorporate your fitness into your lifestyle? Well, a lot of people say they can't. They don't have the time. They're just running around.
It can be difficult, but what I always suggest to anybody is you have to schedule time for yourself. And for me, like I have a very specific time of the day. So after the kids go to bed, usually they're in bed by say 8:15. That's my time. That's my time that I can do what I need to do, whether it's going to another yoga class, whether it's going to teach, whether it's, you know, lifting weights at home. Like I have to schedule it, and you have to schedule yourself into your calendar.
And hold yourself accountable
exactly.
to do it.
Yeah.
So now you're going to show us some very kind of important yoga moves, very simple but very important. I'm going to set this down so that we can do that, okay?
For sure.
All right, I'll let you lead.
All right, so first we're just going to start, and I like to start every yoga practice with a little bit of breath work.
Okay.
And this is just more to kind of center yourself so that you're actually in the space. So if you can either close your eyes or just kind of look downwards. And what we're going to do is just take a couple deep breaths. So breathing in and breathing out. And really trying to breathe into the belly. So you want to get that belly expanded. And then exhale. Okay. And as you breathe, you're just trying to make sure that you're filling into lower belly and up to the upper chest. So really getting like full oxygen. That's where the real benefit is. All right. And then we're going to start with really simple. We're going to do a mountain pose. So this is really a standard posture, and it's really about being grounded into the earth. So we're just going to make sure our feet feel firmly planted, bring our arms up overhead, and you're really going to want to bring down those shoulder blades. And again, this isn't hard. You're just trying to really feel the extension out through the crown of your head and feel that grounding in through your feet. And just a couple breaths. And then bring our arms down. We're going to go into a simple warrior.
Simple warrior.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to step forward with our left leg here and just bringing it forward. And if you're finding your balance is a little bit off, all you just want to do is just widen your stance a little bit. And you don't need to, we're not looking at super flexible. You're just going to want to feel that nice stretch in through the legs, making sure you can see that big toe on the inside of the thigh. And then bring our arms up overhead again and bringing those shoulder blades down. A couple deep breaths. And then bring our arms down. We're actually going to place that back foot on the ground and coming into warrior 2 and gazing with our eyes over those front fingers. And this is really just a nice posture to really keep you grounded and centered. And then bring our arms down, and we're going to straighten that front leg, and we're going to go into triangles. So just keeping your body upright, and then we're going to bring one arm and then the next arm down. And what you're trying to do is imagining yourself between 2 sheets of glass. And again, we're not looking at going right down to the ground. You're just going to want to feel a nice stretch through the side. And then do a nice couple breaths. And then bring our arms back up.
This one's hard for balance for me.
Yeah, if you do find that, just don't go as deep. So you can just go nice and gentle.
Beginner level.
Beginner level. And always do what feels right for your body.
True. Okay.
All right, now we're just going to gently come forward.
Okay.
All right, and then we're just going to come back into mountain. And one nice thing to do, I find, just to get a little extra movement, is just gently come to the side, and it gives you a nice stretch through your side body.
And make sure you do the other side too, right?
And then come back.
For balance.
For balance. So you always want to do repeat.
That's right. And the other side to get balance.
Yeah, and you'll notice that each side is going to feel different.
Yes, I'm sure
and that's totally normal.
Okay,
totally normal. So that's it.
What is your takeaway before we go here for our viewers? 3 things to keep in mind.
I would say listen to your body. Really be aware of what your body's saying. Only do what feels right. And really, I think stay grounded in the present moment.
Yes.
You know, how you felt yesterday is not how you feel today, is not how you feel tomorrow. Exactly.
Mindfulness.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being a part of this show. That's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Natasha's Lips, Tips, and Great Flips is sponsored by AMMA Ajax Mixed Martial Arts Academy, offering classes in Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for all men and women. Sign up now for your free 1-month membership. Also offering Women's Strength and Conditioning Body Blast Boot Camp. Includes a 1-week free trial. St. Nadala Macedonian Orthodox Church, located in Ajax, Ontario, offering banquet hall facilities for your weddings, celebrations, and special events, accommodating up to 250 guests. Invictus Equality. We are the mistresses and the masters of our gender equality destiny. Synchronicity Durham. By collaborating within each level of the community, the main purpose of Synchronicity Durham is to empower every open-minded citizen in Durham region with the tools and resources to achieve their greatest dreams, goals, and passions.